Okay, so now we're back talking about one of my favorite brands, and guys, I'm sure there's only two brands that must come to your mind, and that is either Sweats Collective or Represent. And considering it's involving sneakers, yes, today we're looking at Represent's newest sneaker, newest arrival on the scene, the Studio Sneaker. Now this is something that once I saw, and I saw it on an Instagram post by either George or Mike months and months and months ago, and the second I saw it, I was obsessed. I will throw that post up now so you can get the reference of how I was feeling once I saw it, and I knew the second it posted online, I would be picking this up. Now, honestly, I just love the whole silhouette of this. Now, the reason I picked this up originally is because it definitely gives me those sort of bulky Louis Vuitton trainer vibes, and I mean, if that's what they were going for, they perfectly executed it there. Now, what I really loved about this sneaker is it really felt like a sort of maturing of Represent, I guess you could say. I just think in terms of the detailing, they definitely branded themselves on the sneaker, but not to the point where it's like logo mania, where it's too much. And the more I look at it, the more like minuscule details I see that I really do love and enjoy. Just pointing out a few details of this silhouette before we get into sizing, fit, quality, and all that. It's just the little Represent details, little Represent hits that really make it. Of course, you've got that big one on the tongue there and big R on the back. Those are probably the most prominent terms of branding. On the side there, just near the eyelets, you have got that R, and it also comes down to a little Represent there, which is debossed. You've got another little R there just on the back, just towards the heel, and then on the other side, you've got that Represent. Again, debossed. And one I didn't even notice about until I was just putting the sneakers out to review for you guys is that you've actually got one just towards the toe box there. Again, debossed into that beautiful sole. Now, I really love the details on this one, as I was saying. Actually, something I'm just seeing right now that again, the little details that I'm noticing as I look at it more intensely is you've actually got that R pattern just across the sole there, which I really love. And man, oh man, these are super, super nice. Now, Represent for me has always been a brand that has focused on minimal details, but perfecting the silhouette, shape, and I definitely think they did this here. Now, as I said, I really wanted something reminiscent of the Louis Vuitton trainer, and I think this is a perfect alternative to that. It's definitely different enough to be its own silhouette, but definitely sort of has those little cues of the trainer throughout. Now, some other details throughout this silhouette is, of course, you've got that big puffy tongue, which I will say is heavily padded. I don't know if you can tell here, but it is a thick, comfortable tongue. But it is super comfortable on. That brings me into the actual comfort of the silhouette. Is it comfortable? Well, 100% yes. I reckon this is one of Represent's most comfortable silhouettes. I've picked up a ton of their sneakers over the years, and I would rank this at number one. Don't think there's really any competition in terms of comfort. This is definitely the most comfortable silhouette, and I think a lot of that is in turn because of the quality on this silhouette. Now, of course, that brings it into the actual materials used. So of course, on the sides there, as you can see, you've got that very soft tumbled leather, but then you've also got that mixed sort of just flat leather used throughout, and the mid-side panels. Very comfortable silhouette. As I said, I definitely believe it's because of the quality and the materials used throughout this silhouette. I think the only difference in material used throughout the silhouette is actually those R patches, which I do believe are a rubber that's sort of stitched in there, and are the only details that sort of break up that use of materials. But getting into the soles of this sneaker, now that's the only part where I'm a little bit impartial, is because rubber soles, I feel like they look great, and especially that translucent sole that they've used on this Represent Studio sneaker. It looks great, but I'm always a little bit skeptical if it's going to really attract a lot of dust and dirt, as rubber tends to sort of like stick anything to it. I haven't really experienced any issues with these silhouettes. I just want to put that out there now. I have worn these for 2 days, and as you can see on the bottom of the soles, they look basically brand new. And as you can see, just while on the mention on the bottom of the soles, the traction pattern is that R logo across, featuring that big R logo on the bottom, which I do love. Now, getting into sizing for this pair, I am typically a size US 12 in all Nike, Adidas, Jordan silhouettes. I did go for a size US 12 here, and it does fit me perfectly. I do have a little bit more of a wider foot, and they did feel a little bit tight just at the front toe box area for the first hour of wear. However, it did stretch out after then, and it felt comfortable, and I will say that's probably because of that soft tumbled leather. As I said, comfort on these is perfect. Now, in terms of lacing, these are actually designed to have the laces loose, and that is reinforced by the fact that the tongue has an elasticated strap that goes around the bottom of the silhouette that just sort of keeps the tongue press down onto your foot, meaning that you're going to be locked in even though the laces will be loose. I'm sure that if you tighten them, you could tie the laces. However, I think they look best as designed and intended to wear, and that of course is that loosey-goosey lacing system here. Now I gotta say, I love this silhouette all around. I definitely think it's something that's going to be in my rotation for even not months, years to come. I just think, especially this colorway, the white and gray, I knew this was the one I had to pick up first. I would love the black and white pair. Unfortunately, however, not having a job at the moment is not exactly ideal for picking up more sneaker silhouettes, so I think I'll be holding off for a long while on picking up another pair of the Studio sneakers. But man, oh man, I do love this pair. Definitely going to be in my rotation on the daily, and I've got to say, wearing them with the Represent parachute pants, which I do have on now and you will be seeing on the on-foot portion, I think looked best, especially having that big wide silhouette, having a bigger sort of oversized draping pant to sort of cover up the sneaker a little bit, really just allowed it to shine, and I think it just really suits that silhouette. Of course, you can wear it however you like, but I think that is the best fit and best advice personally coming from me to you. With that being said, guys, I definitely think it's worth the price point. I don't actually think they're asking too much, especially for what you get out of the sneaker in terms of the quality and the overall silhouette, shape, design. I definitely think it's worth that $400 or so that it is listed for online. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. I typically do respond to all questions within 24 to 48 hours, depending on how my day is going. With that being said, guys, hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you next one. See ya.